Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, October the 1st. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Gosh, it's hard to believe that it's already October. You know what that means? Storm Alert Extreme is not far away, and don't forget what's coming up in the middle of this month. The National Weather Association is holding its annual meeting here in Birmingham, and October the 15th will be WeatherFest at McWane Center from 10 to 2. Be sure to check it out. All right, our Skycam imagery this morning. There's Mount Cheehaw, one of the prettiest shots you can get. Not noticing yet any color in the trees yet, but I'm sure it's coming, especially since we're going to be seeing some of the coolest air we've seen since last May. And a beautiful shot of the Fayette County Courthouse as the sun is rising, and we're looking off to, I think it's pretty much the northwest. In the upper atmosphere this morning, we're dealing with a closed low centered over about West Virginia. And, of course, that closed low with the trough axis just to our east is helping to bring in a northwesterly flow. And as you'll see in a moment, that's bringing in some pretty chilly air. High pressure centered over Lake Superior. That's where I vacationed this summer, on the southern shore of Lake Superior. And sunshine all the way from Lake Superior all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And I said that it was getting chilly. Well, take a look at these, some 20-degree values. Look at those 20s up there with some 25s, 24s, 27s. Ooh, burr. Well, that's good. We had too much heat. I'm ready for some cooler air to be here. Locally, though, we're not quite that cold. We're about 20 degrees warmer than that. We're generally in the mid-40s. And look for the lower 40s tomorrow morning, with some spots getting into the upper 30s. The QPF pretty well gives you the forecast for the next 5 days. Looks like it's going to be dry. Storm Prediction Center not outlooking any particular area for a severe weather threat today, although they are watching up there in the southeastern part of New England, where you see the word sea text. Tropics remain relatively active. We have two storms out there, Philippe and Ophelia. Let's take a look at them one at a time. There is Ophelia, and what was almost a dissipated storm is now back to hurricane strength, and indeed that is looking pretty good. And there is a look at her track, and going to remain to the east of Bermuda. Major hurricane, and then dipping back just a little bit. And there is Philippe, not looking quite as good as Ophelia does, and there is the track, going to stay well out into the Atlantic as it kind of falls in line behind Ophelia. The 06Z GFS model run this morning, there's our surface map, and you can see a little bit of rain across West Virginia and Pennsylvania and up into New England, and that will be moving out of the area, and they will be returning to some pretty weather too. The closed low stays with us. It's moving very slowly, but moving a little bit off to the east. On that's Sunday. Then on Monday, closed low is moved from about West Virginia today to just barely on the coast on Monday. So very slow progression, but that's keeping us in the northwesterly flow. The closed low is off the coast on Tuesday, and that continues us under a northwesterly flow pretty much as the ridge comes over us. And there's the surface high centered over about Paducah. So it's going to be just a dry week coming up ahead. The ridge stays with us on Wednesday and then again on Thursday. In the meantime, out west, of course, we're seeing a deep trough dig in to headed towards the Four Corners area. By Friday, it is over the Four Corners area, but still a large ridge over the entire eastern half of the country. And, of course, that means it's just going to keep everything high and dry for the whole week upcoming. As we head into Saturday, again, the eastern half of the country remains dry as that deep trough begins to come out of the Four Corners area and could be bringing some rain to the central part of the country. But even by Sunday, that rain doesn't get here, so it looks like we're in for a week of dry weather. And then as we look out into Voodoo country, this is the 11th, Tuesday, and you can see that we're still under a bit of a northwesterly flow pattern, so we're staying pretty cool. And then when we get all the way out to Monday the 17th of October, you can see that there's a developing trough over the central part of the country, and that could promise a pretty substantial cold front to move through the eastern half of the country. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Remember, keep WeatherFest in mind. That's coming up. That's a public event at the McWane Center, October the 15th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and you can get to meet all the weather personalities around from around town and just rub elbows with lots of meteorologists, and there's going to be lots of events, so check that out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have the next Weather Xtreme video posted by about 8 o'clock or so on Monday morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Saturday.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.